Okay, so welcome to this series of Realm videos with Caroline Bolderston from beingbold.com.au. Go and check it out. Welcome to the video series, Caroline. How are you going today?
Thank you. Very good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Really happy to have you on this series. Now, I had some feedback just recently from a Kickstart that you did and a number of different events. They went incredibly well in terms of working with the team and working on all the things that you do so well. Can you share with the people of Realm and our audience out there, if they don't know you, what it is that you specialize in and how you work within the real estate industry?
Yeah, sure, of course. So basically, I'm a coach. I do training and I also speak at events. So there's those three areas. My background, 10 years selling in real estate in Manly in Sydney. Then I went to the Bell Property Academy, started up their training and coaching platform. And then 2 years ago, I've actually set up Being Bold, my own business, which is continuing to work with agents. I only work within the real estate space. I work with agents, I work with principals on leadership, and I also tend to work with some property management teams as well and BDMs.
Yep.
But everything I do, Patrick, is centred around three core things, which is developing and supporting and growing mindset, skill set and action set. And so everything I do fits around those three. And it's funny because I'm starting to be known a bit as the kind of accountability and discipline kind of coach, because that's a big part of what I've seen makes a difference between an agent being able to deliver results and achieve their goals or not, is having that person to really keep them on track.
So I love that word accountability. For those people out there who haven't worked in enterprise frameworks and accountability work and that kind of stuff, what does accountability really mean? Because some people go, look, accountability is getting up the stick and saying toughen up and let's keep going. Some people think accountability is really around personal accountability and how you actually develop that responsibility to yourself and your peers in your workplace. How do you work with accountability as a word and as an outcome for a culture and a leadership style within the real estate industry?
Okay, so to keep it simple, to me there is a big difference. We've got the word responsibility and we have the word accountability. And responsibility is when you are quite literally able to respond to something yourself. So that's you being in control of your own responses. Whereas accountability is accounting to a third party for your actions. So they're different. And this is where a coach comes into play, because some people have their own sense of self-responsibility and can achieve things and really set focus and stay very linear about what they want to, what outcomes they want. But most people need this whole structure around accountability, which is somebody relying on you for something. You having to deliver on a commitment. So you make a very, whether it's a public commitment, like, you know, we see on social media lots of challenges and things that are put up, that people are putting themselves, I call it on the record, out there in the public to say, it's out there now, I have to deliver. So there's that whole aspect of it. But for me, a big part of accountability is helping an individual get super clear on whether their expectations are in line with possibility or not, if that makes sense. Because I think a lot of people go, accountability doesn't work and I'm not reaching my goals and goals don't work and there's no point. But often I feel it's because the expectations are wrong in the first place. So there's a lot to it.
Yeah. I think it's really important as well, and I've seen it in the enterprise world. I used to work as being an ex-psych and knowing that human beings are complex, and having worked across the leadership space for quite some time, it can be really important and pivotal to the business, and it can literally change cultures. It can change business outcomes. It can change productivity. It can change profitability of an organization. It can even change how many new clients you can put on, because the accountability, the ability to execute is really, you take ownership of it on your shoulders. You take it on your, you have the responsibility and accountability to push forward with that. So I think it's really important work. Obviously, you've seen fantastic outcomes for this kind of work.
Yeah, I have. And sorry, am I interrupting you there?
No, go. That was just a thought. Go.
Continue with your thought.
Yeah, I'll get lost in my thought. No, you go. Tell me about some of these outcomes.
Well, the biggest thing is, you've hit on what I believe is a bit of for me, a bit of a raw nerve in the industry, where a lot of agents come into the business feeling that I'm getting into real estate because one of the advantages, it's flexible. So they love the flexibility of it, and I can have work-life balance and everything that comes with that.
Yep.
But of course, what I know from my own personal experiences and also working with many people is that so many human beings cannot handle the flexibility, because what it gives them is too much choice of what to do, when to do it, should I even do it? And so therefore, what I've found is that also rolls over to the leaders, because agents are coming in thinking, let me do my own thing. And leaders are also have this mindset now that I can't tell a commission-only agent how to run their day, what to do in their day. And so they're stepping back and saying, you go, you do what you want. And so what is happening is, if that's playing out, just like you say, outcomes, deliverables, they're just not reaching the full potential of what can happen, and I've seen it. And when I've plugged in accountability to officers and I've helped leaders understand that, no, you do need to be catching up with your staff performers at least once a month. They want to know, are they delivering on your expectations? Are they doing well? Are they contributing? You know, the core needs. Am I good enough? Do I belong? Am I loved? Deliver that and give them some framework and some structure. And when that's happened from the leadership point of view, the agents start to rise to that occasion. They embrace it. They love it. They feel they've got more focus, more direction. And the word structure, if I could give you $10 or $100 or even $1 for every time, if I get a coaching inquiry and I'm asking the agents, what is it that you feel is missing? What sort of support are you looking for? The word structure comes up over and over and over again, followed by discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline. And to me, accountability is the answer to both of those.
Absolutely. And look, I really love how you touched on both sides. So there's leadership, which we need a lot of in the industry. We need to make sure we're pushing leadership, because without leadership, the industry is doomed. And I hate to be too out there with that, but I really feel like having great leaders results in great organisations, which results in great services, which becomes the biggest defender to eroding of our industry through different types of disruptions. And I love that you're working with the leaders to build that discipline and that accountability from a leadership perspective, and that flows through the organisation. I love that you talked about, discipline and structure, which is a management capability as much as it is a leadership capability. I think that's a fantastic side. So you're really working on both sides of the equation there. You're working with the leaders, you're working with them being accountable to their employees and their staff and their organisation and what they'd like to create. You're building accountability with the individual staff who do have freedom, but at the same time, that freedom comes with responsibility, which is fantastic as well. That I can see would bring fantastic outcomes for organisations. And then once you've done this work in the initial stages, where does your work take you through that organisation as follow-up and creating, I guess, accountability to executing the work that you've done with them in the initial stages?
Well, it comes back to what I mentioned in the beginning, where I've got those three main buckets, the mindset, the skill set and the action set. So the accountability and the structure and everything fits into the action set part of it. How do you implement? That's where all the structure and everything comes in.
Right.
So that's just one component. And usually that tends to be where I start with any work, is saying, what's this environment even looking like from that point of view? Once I get that set, I then start to see some patterns, because all my clients are accountable to me every week. Like, I've got to send
Right. You're walking the talk there, Caroline.
And I love it, and they know it.
Yeah.
Then I can start to play out, and where blockages, they're not pushing through, they're not hitting the benchmarks that we've set in a 90-day plan. And I really do try and focus down just on 90 days at a time. And so then I start to look at what's happening in terms of their internal environment. How are they talking to themselves? What language are they using? What are their circuit breakers? Do they have any to break, the resistance to following through? The whole, I feel that. And so I try and find out why you're trying to avoid. There's usually a pain or a fear or something. So I've got to fix all that.
Yeah.
And unplug all that. And then once I get those two buckets right, then I can sing on the relay fund, which I know that. I've lived it day in, day out. I've performed at a high level, so I can do the skills with my eyes shut. But if I don't get the other two things right, you can be the most skilled person in the world and still not achieve what you could.
Understood. Look, that's all such amazing work, and I can really see huge value in it. And I know that a lot of people who have used you have, for this accountability work and for developing their organisations, had great outcomes. What can we see from yourself this year, both on the Realm channel but also on the public stage? What's coming new for you in 2019?
Okay, so a couple of things. So on the Realm channel, I have just started to share all of my coaching on the go clips, because one thing I do is when I have coaching sessions and something quite barrier, when I jump in the car in between my sessions, I film a quick coaching on the go moment. It could go for a minute or 2 minutes max usually, and I'm just sharing insights all the way along. So that will be all posted on Realm, so that everyone can share that. And then also any articles that I write, because I'm a contributor regularly every issue to Elite Agent magazine, to REI New South Wales. I write lots of articles, so I'll be also sharing all of those on Realm.
Great.
And then, yeah, so that should be something of value, I hope.
Yes.
And then what's new for me this year is I'm working on a program, and there's a lot of work involved, but hopefully I'll be launching it in July. And it is, I can't tell you the name of it yet because I'm still trying to get that all locked up, but I want to bring a whole new level, a whole connected pathway of learning to the real estate space, because what I find is you can go to a 2-day seminar, you can go to a 1-week course, but it doesn't necessarily join all the dots, and it doesn't necessarily go as deep as you need to go on those 3 areas that I'm speaking about. So I'm putting together what is going to be access to, and I don't believe there's anything like this, a 12-month modularized course where there will be face-to-face work with me, online, you can study in your own time, there'll be benchmarks that you can hit and test yourself, really, really deep layered learning for whether it's a brand new agent, which helps the principals to recruit and to develop, or if you've been in it for 3 to 5 years but still just not really getting where you want to go, you can dive into this program, and I believe it's going to revolutionise how quickly people can get amazingly skilled and actually succeed. And I'm really excited about it.
That is incredibly exciting, and certainly a space that we need to tidy up and make work. Sounds like you're building almost a university for real estate agents that has full accountability against it, that, it really does fill the gap in you did a course, you started, and you're learning off people who've been in the industry for 20 years. Maybe they do it right, maybe they don't do it right, but they need, if we're going to build the leaders of the future and the real estate agent professionals of the future, they need to go through this course and really execute in the way you're talking about.
And I love that you said that, because in my mind it's like the degree for real estate that doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. You might do an internship, but that internship is based on the people in that business, and they may or may not be training in a way that creates the right structure and the right accountability and the right understanding, the right knowledge. You can do the course at REI NSW, fantastic, and you should do it, absolutely. You've got to be qualified, right? But that qualification takes you so far. There's legislation, there's things you can and can't do in the industry. But when you're talking about behaviours and mindsets and accountability and the way in which you work, all of those things, there's a big gap there.
Yeah, good. I'm pleased to hear you say that, and I know it is, and I want to fix that. I want to fix this issue, because I've seen too many good people join the industry, and through lack of a really thorough pathway of learning, they don't get where they need to get. And principals also don't have the time to mentor. They're investing money but not in the right places and not getting the return. I'm really, really pumped about this, and so it's coming.
I'm really excited. Is this a Realm first that we're hearing? Are we hearing from Being Bold, but first on Realm about this new university program for real estate agents?
Yes.
I'm pumped. I can't wait. So can I ask this of you? When you launch, can we do another interview and go through exactly what it is that you've laid out, how the course is going to work and what are the key components? Because I think the audience is really going to want to hear about what this is and how it's going to work and how they can benefit from it.
Yeah, 100%. I would absolutely love that. Yes, Let's do
Virtual
that.
high five. Thank you. Boom. That's fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'd love to see it. And any public speaking events that we should be aware of for you this year?
Look, I've done most of the ones that I have booked in. Just looking at my planner. No conferences coming up for a while, actually. So no, I was really busy late last year and early this year with all the Kickstart events and things. But no, but if anybody wants me, reach out.
You're here. beingbold.com.au. Caroline, thank you so much for today. Thank you for the exclusive on Realm. We're really happy to share it with the world. We are going to post this up on social media. It'll be on Realm within a couple of days. Thank you so much for attending, and we will speak very soon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.